Let's do some work here. Let's go after some images. Campaign we did for the Hyatt Hotels, which is the largest, well, this particular hotel we're doing is called the Waikoloa property, which is Hyatt's biggest property in the world. It's 68 acres. It's just monstrous. I don't know if you've heard much about it, but it's a theme park theory to where when you pull up in this big island, and you walk up to the hotel and they say, are you having a Polynesian vacation? Are you having a Japanese vacation? Or is it European? And if they say if you say European, then they book you into the hotel that has a European theme. You get on a boat, and you can see the boat right there, that goes through this series of locks about 2 miles long, and as it suddenly breaks into this area through this shrubbery that you're in Italy or you're in Rome. And it has this entire theme to it, and everybody there speaks with accents, and everybody speaks with a foreign tongue. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal place. Okay, 68 acres. It cost $1 billion to build this hotel. Okay, and they gave us 14 days to shoot it. It's 68 acres. It has 3 miles of underground tunnels to move around in to get from place to place. And we had to shoot an average of 12 rooms a day. Okay, and if you've ever lit in a room, but photographing a room is nothing more than 95%, 5% technique and 95% moving furniture. Okay, is really what it comes down to. Because Hyatt has a theme, they have a look, they have a feel. As in Hilton, as in Marriott, all have this certain attitude. Once you lock that attitude down, it becomes a formula. It's almost like shooting high school senior portraits. It just becomes this formula process. So we'll talk about that. But they're nice, clean bowl, very, very vibrant, and you have to be enticing. Does anybody know when you photograph hotels? There's a season you photograph hotels. Anybody know what that season's called? It's called the off-season. Now, why do they call it the off-season? Why isn't anybody there during the off-season? Because it's lousy to be there. So what's my job is to get on a jet, fly out there, and make this place phenomenal to go to during the worst time of year. That's what you're hired to do. See, this place is raining. Make it look sunny. Okay? See this picture of this nice sunny day? But if you look out the window, you see what? A nice, huge typhoon going on. Okay? It rained 14 of the 16 days I was there. Okay, but my job was to make every room look very sunny, very appetizing. They have a marketing ploy. When you talk to Hyatt, they say, we have a marketing theme. We identify a particular market. Her name is Sally. She lives in Cleveland in February. And we are going to try to convince Sally in Cleveland during February to take her savings and fly to an island and spend it all. That's the theme here. That's why they built this big place. So the marketing had to identify. So whenever they look at a picture, they go, so you think Sally would come here? Think she'd spend her savings for this? Yeah? So, and you don't even know who she is. She just, she's female, she's 42, she has an income bracket between $75,000 to $100,000. Okay, those are the demographics they identify as that's their market, and that's who you have to take pictures for. That's the business you're in. So, let's make it. Let's do it. Let's make this wonderful sunny day. Wonderful sunny day. Every room had to look like this. So first of all, you set up your camera. Okay, we call this our position image, which is obviously just exposed by the outside. You set up your camera. You look at. You take it up high. I always take my 4x5. I use a Sinar P2. Okay, I use a 90mm lens. Is my normal. If they want extremely wide, what do you think I would switch to? 90mm 4x5, what could I switch to for a wide? 60, I could switch to a 65, but I don't want to buy a 65. Okay, so what I'll switch to is an 8x10 back. Because remember, you can either get a wider lens or a wider piece of film. It does the same thing. So a 90mm super angulon on an 8x10 piece of film, you can almost see behind you in the photograph. Okay? We're talking mega wide. And people will say, well, it's a circle on the 8x10 film, but just tell them that's your unique design. You do that. It's specialized to your studio. That's how photography really started out, as circles, and somebody cropped them a couple hundred years ago. So, you're just bringing it back as a true art form, circle images. Kind of like dial-a-crop. Now you have your choice. I won't do it for you. But think of a 90mm super angulon almost covers a full 8x10 piece of film to begin with. Okay, even though it was designed for a 4x5. So that's how we get our super wides. We just use 8x10 backs on our 90s. But we take the camera up high, shoot it down, a little bit of movements, okay? And we shoot a positive, negative Polaroid, a PN55 Polaroid, because if you look at a PN55, backlight it and look through a loop, okay? And you backlight the positive, not the negative, but the positive. PN55 is the one Polaroid that has a transparent paper base on the positive. You put it up against the light, you can loop through, you can see a lot of detail in that actual Polaroid. Once they say, okay, I like the camera angle, then they start to complain and they go, but it's too bright outside. I always love this too. Our directors will do that because, you expose for the ambient. You're just trying to get a good position to present. Say, okay, you like that? Yeah, but it's too bright outside. He's like, what do you mean too bright? That's the marketing campaign, You want sun? We got sun out there, Come to Hawaii, get nuked, I mean, you got to feel you're going to get a tan if you go out there. But, so then they go, no, we need to see oceans and skies and boats and trees and stuff like that. That's what we need to see. It's like, okay, just alter the there. How's that? Is that better? Come to Hawaii, rent a hole for $700 a week. That's this is your hole. You stay in here. Put your clothes over in that part of the room. So basically, shutter speeds, we set 4x5. We're using a Sine RP2, which has a dB shutter system. Shutter speeds is 60th of a second. We expose this to 60th at f16. One stop below basic daylight. That gives us a nice bluish skies, bluish ocean. A lot of people say, why don't you just polarize? You can't polarize in rooms because when you polarize and you have glass in the picture, you pick up all the polarization structure in the glass. I don't know if you've ever polarized glass, but it gets to be this big waffle, And it's hilarious to look at, these waffle rooms. And then at that point, once you get the sky nice and blue, the ocean nice and blue, boom, then you bring in your strobes to actually create that lifestyle that people want. Oh, okay, it's a nice, sunny, beautiful day. Well, on that day, there was a little bit of sun, but it was on the other side of the room. And the client doesn't care. I'm not kidding you. They pull that on you, too. They go, well, we want a really sunny feeling. Well, the sun's on the other side of the building. They look at you and they go, oh, well, they said you're good. Yeah, okay. Come over here. But, so the basic attitude is to bring that feeling into it. And everything has to, dealing with all these, situations. A very sunny day, light it. Everything had to create that. Even when it was sunny, the sun's never where you want. So you have to manufacture this artificial sun feeling. And bring it into where it looks natural. Expose, use that 90 millimeter, stretch it out, make your 14-pound strawberries. That's nice and enticing. But everything had to have a balance. In Hawaii, you're only caring about the outside. It's not like a regular hotel where you can record just the facility. In this case, they want to see the environment, and they want to see it on a rainy day, and that's your challenge. They pay you well, but they work you hard, And we're shooting 12 images a day in the way of interiors a day is working you hard.